On a quiet winter morning in the small town of Brookfield, a nurse finished her overnight shift and began the short drive home. It was a route she had taken hundreds of times before, but that morning she never made it. Hours later, her car was discovered abandoned on a lonely roadside just outside town. Her purse was still inside, her phone was missing, and the nurse everyone trusted had vanished without a trace. The victim, Emily Carter, was exactly the kind of person you'd expect to see working in a hospital. At 32 years old, she had built a reputation as one of Brookfield General Hospital's most compassionate nurses. Patients remembered her kindness. Coworkers described her as dependable, calm, and deeply caring. She had grown up in Brookfield, a town of just under 12,000 people where neighbors greeted each other by name and crime was rare, which is why her sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through the entire community. On the morning of October 14th, Emily finished her night shift shortly after 6 a.m. Security cameras showed her leaving the hospital parking lot alone, but she never arrived home. When her sister couldn't reach her later that day, she reported Emily missing. That same afternoon, a passing driver spotted Emily's car parked along County Road 14, a quiet stretch of road surrounded by thick woods. The vehicle appeared untouched. Her purse sat on the passenger seat. The keys were still in the ignition, but Emily was gone. The investigation begins. Police quickly began searching the area. Tracking dogs were brought in. Volunteers combed through the surrounding woods. At first, investigators believed Emily may have been the victim of a random attack. County Road 14 was isolated, making it an easy place for someone to strike unnoticed. The possibility of a violent stranger terrified the town. But as detectives dug deeper into Emily's life, they discovered something unexpected. Emily had been hiding a secret. When investigators analyzed Emily's phone records, one number appeared repeatedly. The calls often happened late at night. The contact was saved simply as D. That number belonged to Daniel Harper, a local contractor. At first, Daniel claimed they were just friends, but the messages between them told a very different story. Emily and Daniel had been involved in a secret relationship. There was just one problem. Daniel was married. A growing conflict. Text messages showed their relationship had recently become strained. Emily had begun pushing Daniel to leave his wife. In one message, she wrote, "I don't want to hide anymore." Daniel's replies suggested hesitation and pressure. Investigators now wondered if the affair had turned dangerous. But Daniel insisted he had nothing to do with Emily's disappearance. Then the case took a dark turn. 2 weeks after Emily vanished, a hunter walking through the woods near County Road 14 noticed something unusual. Partially hidden beneath leaves was a small silver necklace. Emily's sister immediately recognized it. Search teams returned to the area and soon discovered freshly disturbed soil. Beneath it was Emily Carter. The nurse who had cared for so many people had been murdered. Detectives focused heavily on Daniel Harper. Phone data revealed his phone had been turned off during the exact window when Emily likely died. Under pressure, Daniel finally admitted he had met Emily that morning, but he insisted he left her alive after they argued. At first, investigators believed he was lying, but new evidence soon pointed somewhere else. The real culprit, Daniel's wife, Laura Harper, had secretly been tracking his phone. She already knew about the affair. Security cameras later revealed Laura's car driving down County Road 14 shortly after Daniel had left the area. Investigators believe Laura followed her husband and confronted Emily in the woods. The confrontation quickly escalated into violence. During interrogation, Laura eventually confessed. Overcome with anger and betrayal, she struck Emily during the argument. The blow proved fatal. In panic, she buried the body and returned home. The truth stunned the town of Brookfield. What began as a suspected random attack turned out to be a tragedy fueled by secrets, betrayal, and heartbreak. Emily Carter was remembered not for the scandal surrounding her death, but for the compassion she showed throughout her life as a nurse. At her memorial service, former patients, co-workers, and friends gathered to honor the woman who had once cared for them in their darkest moments. But for the people of Brookfield, One unsettling truth remained. In a town where everyone believed they knew each other, no one truly saw the danger coming.